Have you ever scrolled through a perfectly curated social media feed, oblivious to the darkness that can lurk just behind the filtered smiles? Imagine a teenager you might pass 100 times on the street, his face an unassuming mask concealing a horrifying truth. This isn't your typical story of teenage angst or rebellion. This is the story of Gavin Smith, a seemingly ordinary boy who, in 2020, ripped the idyllic facade off Elkview, West Virginia, with an act of violence so shocking, it shattered the town's sense of security forever. We'll delve into the chilling secrets that festered beneath the surface and the disturbing truth that will leave you questioning everything you think you know about appearances. Elkview was a quiet community, a place where children played freely in sprawling backyards and families gathered for summer barbecues. Laughter echoed through the streets, and neighbors knew each other by name. But beneath this idyllic surface, a darkness festered within the seemingly ordinary Smith household. 16-year-old Gavin Smith appeared like any other teenager. He shuffled through the halls of Elkview High School, blending into the background with a backpack slung over his shoulder and a tired expression. Yet, behind closed doors, tensions simmered between Gavin and his stepfather, Dan. Arguments erupted like sudden storms, shattering the fragile peace within the home. The reasons for these conflicts remained shrouded in secrecy, a private battle that brewed within the confines of their walls. On a cold December morning in 2020, an unsettling silence descended upon the Smith residence. A concerned family friend, worried about the lack of response to their usual weekend gathering invitation, decided to check on the family. A knock on the door went unanswered, prompting them to enter with a growing sense of unease. What they discovered inside would forever scar their memory. A nightmarish scene unfolded before their eyes. The entire Smith family lay dead. Gavin's parents, Dan and Risa, his younger brother Gage, and even his 3-year-old brother, Jameson. The friend, numb with shock and horror, immediately called the police. The news of the murders sent shockwaves through the quiet town. Sirens wailed in the distance, shattering the usual tranquility. Police descended upon the scene, yellow tape cordoning off the house as investigators began their work. They had a horrifying puzzle to solve: a family brutally murdered within the walls of their own home. Their prime suspect, the missing member of the family, Gavin Smith. Gavin, it turned out, had been spending the last few days at his girlfriend's house, Rebecca. When questioned by the police, Rebecca painted a picture of an abused teenager, claiming Gavin had suffered years of torment at the hands of his stepfather. This narrative, however, began to unravel quickly. A deep dive into Gavin's social media revealed no evidence of abuse. Furthermore, Child Protective Services had no prior involvement with the family. The detectives pressed on, their gut feeling telling them something wasn't right. Inconsistent stories began to emerge from Gavin during questioning. His claims of abuse lacked detail and credibility. As the detectives chipped away at the fabricated narrative, a different motive began to take shape, a motive far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. The investigation took a sharp turn as it shifted its focus to Gavin's girlfriend, Rebecca. Phone records unearthed a horrifying truth. In the days leading up to the murders, a disturbing exchange of messages revealed Rebecca pressuring Gavin to eliminate his family. These chilling messages, laced with teenage angst and a twisted desire for freedom, exposed a dark plan. Rebecca, fueled by a warped sense of entitlement and a yearning to be with Gavin without restrictions, had manipulated him into committing the unthinkable. The detectives pieced together a timeline of manipulation, a web of deceit spun by Rebecca that entangled Gavin in her web of murderous desires. News of the murders and Gavin's involvement ripped through the quiet fabric of Elkview like a tornado. The community grappled with the incomprehensible. A seemingly ordinary teenager, influenced by a manipulative girlfriend, had become a cold-blooded killer. Parents held their children closer, fear replacing the usual sense of security. Whispers and speculations filled the air as neighbors tried to understand the unimaginable. Local news outlets swarmed the town, their cameras capturing the stunned silence and collective grief that had descended upon Elkview. In 2022, Gavin Smith faced trial as an adult. The courtroom became a stage for a chilling drama, a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly normal lives. The prosecution painted a picture of a calculated act, fueled by Rebecca's manipulation and Gavin's warped sense of loyalty. The defense attempted to portray Gavin as a victim of abuse, a desperate teenager driven to violence by a controlling stepfather. However, the inconsistencies in his testimonies and the incriminating messages with Rebecca ultimately sealed his fate. The jury found Gavin Smith guilty on all counts. He received 3 life sentences for the murders of his parents and brother, and additional charges for the murder of his youngest brother. Rebecca, who turned state's witness in exchange for a lighter sentence, testified against him, her voice a chilling counterpoint to the devastation she had caused. The judge, his voice heavy with emotion, condemned Gavin's actions as a heinous crime, a betrayal of family that defied comprehension. As Gavin was led away in handcuffs, a collective sigh of relief rippled through the courtroom, tinged with the lingering sadness of a shattered family and a community forever marked by tragedy. The story of Gavin Smith serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of manipulation and the fragility of the seemingly ordinary. It compels us to look beyond appearances and recognize the warning signs of potential darkness. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.